everybody, Laura here for Simon Says Stamps. So glad you're joining me today because I got a fun project to share with you featuring the Hex Yeah stamp and die set. This was part of the Sending Sunshine release designed by my favorite, the one and only Kathy Zilski. So let's get started. First thing I'm doing is working on the background. This is going to be the background of my hexagon shaker. So a lot of this is not going to be, it's not all going to be seen. I kind of went to town because at this point I didn't really know how big my hexagon shaker window would be. So I ink blended more than I needed to. But it's okay, the more the merrier. So I started with Distress Oxide inks and Candied Apple, Spice Marmalade, Squeezed Lemonade, doing a little worn lipstick, and I go back and forth blending the colors a little bit. This is very forgiving because it's going to be behind a shaker window, so you're not going to see any, smudges and whatnot. And I'm going with a very heavy hand, which is a little bit unusual for me. I like to start, normally I start very light-handed. Today, for whatever reason, I was hot and heavy. Maybe I was like Russian. I don't know. I just wanted something really vibrant and vivid. So I knew I wanted to reach for the Distress Oxide. They blend like butter. And then I did a little twisted citron there too. Now to finish it off, I love to do the flicks. Now talking about flicks, I've done flicks so many different ways. You can get lots of different looks. Here I'm taking the nozzle hose, tapping it on my finger. You could spray it right with the spray bottle. You can use a little mini paintbrush. I like to do that. I've seen people, a lot of people like to flick it with their fingers. You just do whatever floats your boat. Then I'm going to take the Hex Yeah coordinating die. This is the larger hexagon in the Hex Yeah die set. I'm going to die cut that right into the center of a panel of Nina Solar White cardstock. I'm going to take that same die, butt it up right above, and then it leaves the tiniest little space. You wouldn't think it, but it does. When you butt it up, and I'm going to do this on each side of that center hexagon, trying to achieve equal spacing, which I did. And I didn't know if I would, but as long as you place the hexagon exactly like you did on every other one, you're going to get the same results. So, and you end up with this cool hexagon, almost like a honeycomb window, which is really cool. Initially, I thought I would just pop this up right over top of that ink blended background, but then I decided, why not make a shaker? Shakers make everyone happy. My daughters all the time when they want me to make a birthday card, they're like, can you make a shaker? They think shakers are just extra special. So I'm going with extra special today. So I'm doing this last hexagon, fitting that right in. And I was pleased as punch that this turned out. Look at that. Very exciting. I'm taking some acetate sheets. These are by Hero Arts. I'm going to adhere the acetate to the back of this hexagon die cut panel. I'm taking some tape runner, putting it all over the back. I got a little bit of foam tape already on the top and bottom, but I trimmed my acetate so it would fit just like so. And then I'm going to trim some more foam tape to put along the sides. This is how I make a shaker. I don't always show this, but it's a lot of trimming. It's a lot of foam tape. It's a lot of slivers of foam tape, which I use very often. I go through foam tape like nobody's biz. And it's not cheap. You know that, right? But you got to have it. You got to buy a big wheel of it. You know what I mean? Because you just got to have it on hand so you can pop everything up. I filled the shaker with some iridescent sequins. I used some Little Things by Lucy. And now I'm embossing a sentiment. This one is the Hex Yeah sentiment from the Hex Yeah stamp set. So first I rubbed down black cardstock with the powder bag. Inked it up with Versamark ink. Pouring on some white Simon Says Stamp embossing powder. Then I'm heating that with heat gun. So the black and white, which I love to do, really pops against the sentiment. I love how Kathy Zilski has a lot of coordinating dies for the sentiments of her stamp set. Not all of them, but some of the larger ones. And this is fantastic. You can pop up your sentiment right onto the hexagon shaker window. And then I'm going to emboss another coordinating, just a smaller little sentiment in white on a thin strip of red cardstock. Again, rubbed it down with a powder bag. Inked it up with Versamark ink, pouring on the white powder, heating it with a heat gun, popping it up with the foam tape. Now, this looks really cool. It's actually not a card yet. So I made a white card, putting on some tape runner, popping this on. And now you have a card. So this is cool. I think this would make a great graduation card because it's kind of youthful. You know what I mean? Trying to stay hip for the teeny boppers. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.